Ben, what Web3 project is a combination of Roblox and Craigslist?
I don't know, but I do know that there is no O between the B and the L in Roblox.
Are you
It's
messing with my pronunciation?
no, I'm just saying it's Roblox, not Robolock. You say whatever you want.
Let's watch this kick-ass video, okay?
Okay.
We're covering voxels today. Let's do this.
All right.
Cryptovoxels, man, recently renamed to just Voxels. They dropped the crypto because they just wanted to onboard more Web 2 people, which makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. So the beauty,
especially right now, the crypto market, it's almost got nothing but negative connotation with it. So, anything you can. I think, especially right now, they're making that differentiation between Bitcoin and crypto. Nobody wants any part of crypto. Web3, fine, but nobody wants to be associated with crypto right now. So, just voxels, got it.
Yeah, just voxels is what they're going for. And like you said, makes complete sense. So the simplicity of voxels is the genius behind this project. And I'm going to play some short clips because there's people involved with this project that say it way better than me. But the simplicity, the addictiveness of the fun is what really makes this project work. And we've seen that with some others. That's kind of a theme for us. But this one, more than anything, I think you can really see the simplicity. And I think that's maybe why I'm not attracted to the voxel type structure, the 2D Roblox.
Yeah.
That so many people are into. So, and I'm not cool. I get that. But anyways, I'm already starting to ramble. Let me
it's good that was pointed out though. Ryan,
yes.
Not cool. Self-admitted. All right.
Because I ramble, you better check the timestamps. We're going to try and keep this as concise as possible, but this project is a cool project. But before we get into that, let's hear the disclaimer.
We didn't work for Interbank for a while, and then they built up a big team in South America, and all their remote people, most of the remote people, were let go or sort of left over time because it's easier to work in one time zone. And so then I took some time off, and then I started doing Cryptovoxels and did it for about a year or two until it got to the point where it was making $10,000 a month, and I could quit my day job and go work full time on it, and did that for a while. I was like drunk the whole time. It was terrible for my liver, but really fun. And then out of last year I stopped drinking, and then the NFT boom happened, which I never expected. And then just as we're trading off that, we're like, cool, okay, we get to rest. Then the virtual worlds boomed with Mark, renaming his company, and so that's sort of where we are to where we are now. And so then and just in the last couple of months, we spun up these other two projects that run under the same umbrella company.
As you can see, he goes by the nickname Ben Boobs.
I like it.
At least on this interview. But this guy is a character and a tech genius, I guess you could call him. I hate to even kind of use that word, but he's into a whole bunch of stuff. He's creating these different projects or whatever. But he comes in with the simplicity of this Cryptovoxels, and of course, it just takes off. Like people are all on board on it. And so it gets tremendous growth. And a lot of it's because the utility is just awesome. It doesn't have the cumbersome of a lot of these other projects. You don't have to download stuff. You just click on the link and it takes you right into it. You just need a decent computer, not even anything crazy.
Yeah, if your computer can do it, then
all jokes aside, that's exactly right. So what is Voxels? Voxels is a metaverse world built on the Ethereum blockchain. All plots exist on the blockchain Ethereum, except for the avatar clothing that you can buy is on the Polygon blockchain. So there's two types of NFTs on Voxels. You've got the land, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, and then you've got the clothing items and stuff like that that's actually on the Polygon. Of course, because it's cheap and it's interactive and it's very fast. So it just makes sense for with the clothing parts of it. That's majority of the NFT sales that go on. Voxels doesn't currently offer any gamified parts to this project. It's mainly all about social interaction in NFT galleries and venues and events. And so it's a social area to get together, build stuff, have fun, play some things, or not play, but just basically socialize and have some fun.
Yeah, and when we do, I think we still call my section gameplay, but it is social interaction and exploring, artistic exploring. We'll go through some of the areas you can explore. It's actually pretty interesting. And like you said, it's the easiest one to get into. It's right there in the browser. You bring it up and enter it. You don't have to download anything or connect a wallet. So yeah, it's really interesting. Like you said, no gamified stuff. You're not competing or playing to earn. You're just experiencing it, which is it's nice because anybody can do it.
Yeah, the simplicity of it, which is the complete opposite of Web3 right now, right? That's the biggest problem Web3 has. It's being, those things are being addressed. Everybody knows it's cumbersome. The internet was cumbersome when it came along with so many other things. But yet they seem to just figure a way to make it really simple. You just go on the link and you can just share the link. If I want to bring somebody into my world or hang out or social, I can just send the link and they just click on the link. You don't need anything extra, which is excellent for onboarding people into the Web3. So they've switched to Voxels for that same reason. They wanted to drop the crypto. And I think I don't remember if I have this part of the video clip in here or not, but he talks about part of the reason they did that is every time he would bring up the project to anybody and he'd say crypto, he'd say Cryptovoxels, and it like their eyes would gloss over immediately. Right. So, so many people are not interested in crypto now. That was especially in 2018 and after when this was created. We're in a different spot now, but there's still a lot of people that glosses over.
Yeah, and that's interesting because around that time, if you threw crypto in front of anything, crypto kids, crypto kitties, crypto wallet, crypto exchange, if you threw crypto in front of anything, you got the attention because things were going up. Yeah. Interest was high. People were throwing crypto in front of every project, no matter if it had, slight relevance to Web3 or was fully immersed in Web3. And now it's like, okay, well, now it's done the exact opposite. Now that we've gone all the way back down, people are like, actually, Voxels is the name of it. Let me take out the crypto. Here's our project. Here's what we're doing. And this one, it makes sense because it doesn't have its own cryptocurrency. It's basically just using the technology on the Ethereum network and then the ease of use and the low transaction fees of the Polygon network. It's not really a crypto project. It doesn't have its own voxel coin or anything like that. So it's just an internet social. I mean, it's basically like a Facebook that you would walk into that you get to walk around and you get to see people's walls. You get to see people's areas. You get to see people's art and pictures. And you get to interact with them, and it really doesn't need the crypto in front of it. It was good while it was getting the attention, but now it's like, okay, well, voxels, the little voxel art, the little square boxed art, that's what this project is. And so it's good that they've just went with the name that makes sense.
Yeah, and the hard part about that is if you just Google voxels, you're going to get like, because it's the name of the art. That's the type of art. So you're not just going to see this project. You're going to see voxel type projects, which there's a ton of them out there. And so even though this project is a top 5 project, it's right up there with Decentraland, Sandbox.
Right. But thankfully they got Voxels.com. So it's not a weird, it's not a long drawn out name. It's not a .io or a .net or anything like that. Voxels.com is where you go to. And like I said, that it takes you straight to the user owned virtual world right there in the browser.
Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of the land a little bit later on, but while we're here, there's there's 70,000 parcels of land that's planned. Current, and this article was actually back in May, so it's an older article. But there's at that time there was only 7,355 parcels active or sold. So less than 10% of this, well, just over 10% of this massive project. So you got a lot to go, and they're expecting it to have surpassed around 15% by the end of the year. I'm not sure we're at the end of the year if it's gotten there or not, but here's some of the stuff that's coming with Voxels. A lot of it is just based around social, the whole NFT idea, because again, that's, they wanted some ownership with this project. That's why it's a blockchain project. So a lot of big plans coming on. That's starting to get into some more of the land. Let me go back to this video clip, and let's hear a little bit more from Mr. Ben Boobs here.
We want real-time voxelized video, what do they call it? Volumetric video. It's super low resolution. You can do in the browser. Just all of that kind of stuff. But first, we really need to get on top of the outages and then the weirdness that we have at the moment. So once we get all through that, then we'll start doing lots of fun stuff again. We're always doing fun stuff on the way through, but it's really hard to prioritize when it's like, when someone works so hard to make 1,000-person event and they get a DJ and they get all their friends and it's all hyped. They all arrive and everyone's like, this is going off, and then the whole thing comes down. That's just really disappointing for people.
Yeah.
So once we get that sorted, then we'll move on to the fun stuff again. So there's lots and lots of cool stuff. And I think one of the things that we are going to do is mobile. We'll have our first mobile app and our first Oculus Quest VR version out later this year, and it's going to be very basic. I've really downscaled our ambitions for that because.
So he was self-admitting some of the problems they're having. Like there's so many people coming to the site that it's actually crashing the site. And so they're working on basically the background part of it. They're, the front end of it, not so much, but the background, just handling the actual users and all the social events and stuff that's going on. Cause some of these events are actually drawing in major groups, kind of like, I don't know if it's as much as Fortnite, but that's what, when you think of these massive events, that's what you think of, is like that Fortnite concert they did. So everybody's kind of preparing for these massive amounts of attendees, or whatever you want to call it. So this is Pixie here. She's the self-proclaimed face of Cryptovoxels. So that was Ben Nolan. He's actually the founder and running the show, but this is Pixie. And her story, she has got an amazing story, and it's a pretty sad and tragic one too. So I highly recommend checking her out if you're interested in this project. But she seems like a really great personality, but she is not an engineer. She's not a dev. She was just involved. She's a great example of community being utilized. And so she was she was drawn in as part of the community, and it's kind of taken off. And so she's going to describe a little bit of the challenges they're having here also with what they're building with Cryptovoxels.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, building a lot of different type of commission work, you started being noticed by the team, right? And then you started working for them.
At that point, I submitted my resume because as a builder, I was encountering some errors and stuff that that still exist. And the website, I admit, still looks like Craigslist. It's quite bad. But we are going to completely change it this year. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so what do you do exactly? Yeah, what do you do for them exactly?
Sure. So because I am their first non-engineer, I ended up doing more customer service and talking to journalists and other work. But I have been on the design side, and I will do that more. I will do the user experience, user interface more. But yeah, right now I'm kind of like the face of the company and helping everyone all the time with any question.
Yeah, I see that. Pixie, this is not working. Pixie, there's a bug here. Pixie, these are new data of Cryptovoxels.
Yeah, so I'm just flying around helping everyone. So hopefully, as we're growing out our team this year, I'll be able to really transform the brand and the website, because we have a lot of utility and we have a lot you can just jump right in, but we need to make it much sleeker and easier to use for people. And a lot of people have a sleek, easy to look at metaverse demo, but they don't really have that utility yet. So we're kind of opposite. But once we get more organized, and we are planning on rebranding to just Voxel.
So she puts it so much better, obviously, than me. Like, they realize they have all this utility,
right?
That is this project is rocking with utility. It's just not the most user friendly. You know, Craigslist is not at the top of the list of good design. You know, but and they realize that. But it brought the thought to my head of, if you had the pick of the two, which would you rather have, more utility or better looks to start with? And utility is definitely my preference.
Well, she mentioned it on there. There's a lot of these projects, and we've mentioned it. I mean, there's been projects we haven't been able to do because they have a great website, but there's nothing going on. There's nothing behind us. It's like they have halted game production. The website is awesome. It looks great. They've got, great characters, great artwork, but there's nothing going on. So yeah, this is the opposite. They've got so much going on. They haven't put a lot of thought into the aesthetic of it yet, but it looks like they're getting ready to, which will be great.
Yeah, it's always kind of a challenge, right? Because in these videos, all these videos are a little bit older. Like a lot of projects, they're just busy building in this crazy bear market. So you're not hearing a lot of stuff that's going on. But so, they obviously rebranded, but it sounded like some of this stuff they were going to have out this year. And from what I can see, they haven't gotten it out now. It's obviously well on the way and everything else, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to do that.
Well, anything that's happened since June that's not out, like anything that was supposed to happen that hasn't come out, I'm just going to blame on FTX. The back half of 2022, you get a free pass if you're doing a crypto project and you didn't get it out in time. I'm blaming it on FTX, but get busy in 2023.
So here's Ben Nolan again. He's going to give us a little bit of the projection over the next 5 years, what they're planning on doing with Cryptovoxels. Or Voxels.
One that I ask everyone is, like, where do you see Cryptovoxels in 5 to 10 years, or Voxels rather, in 5 to 10 years?
I want it to be on my TV, on the PlayStation or the Xbox. Probably not PlayStation. I don't think Sony would ever give us permission, but definitely on the Xbox. I think Microsoft are pretty cool about it. I've got like a big, super cheap 85-inch TV, and I'd love to sit on the couch and explore the world.
Figured you'd like that.
I'd like it to be on the VR and augmented reality headsets that are out there, but I don't want people to be in it for hours and hours and hours. Just want to do it as a little bit of a trip. I want it to be amazing on the computer. And I want all the technology to go away. I want people to not want to notice how it works. I want it to just, like no one thinks, oh, wow, look at that DCT that they're using on YouTube. That's really sharp. Wow, their CD must be really fast. No one fucking thinks that. They just think, hey, look, Andrew Huang's got a new hat. Wow, that's really cool. So I want us to be removed and people to be far more connected to the builders and the creators in the world, because, our technology should just go away from being like, it's Cryptovoxels to like, have you been to this amazing thing? Like no one says, have you been to the new YouTube website? They're like, they tell you about content on YouTube. So I want us to disappear and we'll just talk about the content inside the world. That's where I'd like it to be. I'd like the company to be really successful. I'd like all the people there to be really looked after and kind of, their lives be in a really good position because they've been involved in this project. I want everyone that's in Cryptovoxels to really enjoy it, and I want it to be part of a wider metaverse that all interoperate. That's my dream of where we'd be.
Yeah.
Pretty big Santa's wish list there, but I don't think this guy is capable of telling a lie. Like he couldn't pull off a Sam Bankman-Fried deal.
Well, yeah, and that's, I mean, like the goal that he has is what a lot of people's goal is. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like he's not the
yes.
only one. He said it just wants to be one of in the metaverse that's interoperable with all the other stuff. And, you know, it's not, yeah, I like how he said, you don't say, oh, have you seen the new YouTube website? No, you just talk about what's on YouTube. YouTube's just the way to go see the new Mr. Beast or the new, you know, Jake Paul video. It's not, nobody cares about YouTube. Just show us the people who are on YouTube.
It's like that Katie Couric or, you know, news episode. Ben, what is this internet thing you talk about? Yeah. Nobody says that anymore. It's just like, hey, my website or go here.
Right.
You know, it's
right.
like that same discussion.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the internet. Nobody cares about YouTube. And hopefully one day nobody will care about Voxels, just the stuff that's on there.
I did have one. I almost forgot about this. I did have one more kind of cool video from the rebranding that I wanted to show you real quick, and then I'll pass it over to you. But
okay,
this is really, really short, but I like a lot of the music that was with these. Here we go. You can't hear that, can you?
I can hear.
Okay. Well, you weren't bobbing your head. I thought that was awesome.
I think the video is just so laggy. I can't.
Man, that's basically what I got with going on with the story and all the stuff of Voxels. I think it's a great project, top 4 project, awesome project. You've got some of the social because there's no real gameplay, and then I'll touch on the land, but I'll go ahead and pass it on over to you.
All right. So if you go to voxels.com, I'm just showing you how easy this is. Voxels.com brings up this. You can definitely tell what they're talking about with the Craigslist vibe. A little bit better pictures right here, but very just a basic website. So you can do 2 things. You can go straight in to play now. Take just a second to load. But this is, I'm just going to leave it at this. I'll show you, this is real time, how long it takes to get in there. And this is just on a basic laptop. But then you're in Origin City. They'll just give you an anonymous username if you don't pick one, if you don't have your stuff set up. But you're in Cryptovoxels, and you can actually just wander around. They got the little puppy there from the Grinch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can hear it, but they've got footsteps. You can actually hear yourself walking around. It's Christmas
I did hear
season, that. So they got Charlie Brown, the Grinch. Yeah, you can hear the footsteps there.
It's wild to me that it's a voxel art, but you have actual working like video.
Like GIFs, I think is what they are. But yeah, you can see the moving actual videos. There's National Lampoon's Vacation, Christmas Vacation. They've got so these are just like little clips. So this, I'm not really sure exactly how to describe this yet, because I'm not sure what you would do here. But you can see this world that has been built, and it's a huge world, and it's very easy. I mean, I just go into the website. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to do anything. And you can actually just use your keyboard and walk around and play these games.
Yeah.
And you can fly if you'd like.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, listening to some of the commentary and the stuff for this, that is something, I don't know, it's a small thing, but it's a huge thing because you can obviously see so many things from the air. You just fly around, look for whatever you want to, do.
Right. Looks like we got a little Bitcoin area right here, but you can see kind of the size of this map. Everybody's got their Christmas stuff out, and then you just sort of drop out of the sky wherever you want. You can go back to running. They've got a whole bunch. If you bring up your emotes, you can. This is us doing backflips. Oh, let me get off the bright white so you can get a better view. Here he is doing a backflip. You know, again, I'm not sure what you would. I'm not sure what exactly you would do with all this, but it's just pretty interesting. I don't know what orange is.
You just cruise around. Yeah, I guess that's this isn't for. I wouldn't be on here, but I now understand why so many people are, because you can just run around, hanging out, you know, checking things out, looking at what people built, and
so there's areas that you can build stuff for free, or if you buy this land, you can build your own kind of square voxely art. You can build it into whatever you want, which is why you see so many like Christmas themed stuff right now, is because it's that time of year. So you can just kind of do your own thing. And we saw some people over there at the beginning. It really is just an open world, and there are people in there, and you can converse with them. And they're working on like chat rooms right now where you can say, go into here, and then all of a sudden have voice chat with whoever's in this room, you know? And so it's like building like a Facebook that you would get to walk into. So obviously just the next evolution of social media. Now, when I said you can go to this is the homepage. This is voxels.com. So you can drop straight into this world where I did and wander around and see what's there. Or you can go to any of these user-generated worlds, wherever you want to go. I think I was in Fractal Visions earlier. Just click on it. This one's
cool. I saw
and it drops you right into this specific area. You can do all the same things. You can walk around. You can jump. You can fly. But it's like a museum. Think about it like a museum where all your friends are at. So you can go around and you can check out all the stuff. I think this is the cannabis wall, if I remember correct. Cannabis art or something. Cannabis canvas. There you go.
Different scenes that you can pick from. Those are, if I remember right, those are the most popular ones at the time, at the moment, type of deal. Does that sound right?
Yes.
That looked like an alluvial character. I think that's a sign. Man, look at that.
So you can just check out this very, very fancy, very nice art. You know what I mean? Like it's not not cheap block you know, in here, but then it's just basically like a gallery where you can see all this stuff. Looks like they've got a little stage up here with some music.
You're like, I don't know what you would do in here, but it's cool. 8 hours later, Ben is still running around in the map.
I guarantee you that is a possibility.
Yeah. Especially if you have some of this nice cannabis canvas.
There you go. See, so you come right here in the middle there. Look at that.
Yeah. That's a trip.
And as best as I could figure, I didn't see any repeats in here. And I looked for them.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all very similar, but I don't think there's any repeats. So it's just like a little art gallery. And then you can, if you know where you're going, you can fly out and go to wherever, you know. And if Ryan was in here also, you could meet up with him wherever. And it looks like, I don't know what kind of games they've got, but it looks like they're working on the potential for beer pong, table tennis, you know what I mean?
And these are
here. So it's super interesting.
These are community games, because some of these are, like you said, user generated, and they're creating their own events and stuff like that. But the reason I'm mainly asking is that art one, I wonder if that was like, if that's, you know, I wonder if that's Voxels that put that all together, or if these are different people contributing, although they all were kind of in the same, I don't know how, they were all similar. So I'm guessing it came from the same source. But how cool would it be if it was just everybody's different art that they were throwing up in there? Like a kindergarten, you know, hand painting exhibition on the wall.
Right. Well, and that's what there are places in Voxels that is like free to build and free to add your artwork to. You can buy land and have your own stuff that only you can do stuff on. But there are, especially while it's new and young, there are is that anybody can put anything they want. They can actually build it themselves. So is that my music or yours?
That's you. I think that's because of where you're at. It's the music activates when you go to.
I'm sure it's the game. I'm in the Misfit Rocket League. Hold on one second.
You want to turn my hat around.
Mute that tab. But that is actually pretty good music. But yeah, so you can kind of see what you've got. Yeah, you move around. It's just got. I don't know what I expect from it, but as far as usability, as far as kind of getting in and getting a taste of like what walking around in a 3D world is like, this is a great, easy intro into it.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to talk about land here in a little bit, but I think, especially the video clip I was seeing, land was very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
As far as, you know what I mean? Like other.
It's been all over the map,
like
but like a lot of things, it's very affordable right now.
But that's what I've got. I mean, for as far as gameplay, you're not playing any games, you're just experiencing it. One of the things you can get, especially with the Matic token, is outfits, costume, and clothing for your little person here. You can, if you want to log in, set up an account, you can start getting a name, you can start saving stuff, you can start saving favorite places. You obviously save your clothing, you can hook up your wallet, but it's very cool and very rare that you see a project that you can just walk into and start playing the way that this one is.
Yeah, start exploring, start socializing, you could build. And that, like some of the other projects we've covered, you can make an income building some of these wearables and things and selling them. That Pixie young lady I just showed, that's how she got started. That's actually how the group found her, is she was just creating wearables, and then she created a club that took off. Like platinum, recording artists were just showing up to her club and giving shows. Like she talks about it in an interview. So it's just anyways. So she was making some income off creating wearables and selling them, and Voxels, Cryptovoxels at the time, saw what she had been creating in the club and what she'd been just doing in the community, and said, "Hey, we'd like to hire you." And she's awesome. She's not bad to look at either.
Because it's the simple voxel style art. They have a world builder and stuff like that. It's very easy to get into the game and start exploring and start working with this kind of stuff. And if the price is right, which I believe it is, and it's funny, I know Ryan will talk a little bit more about the land price here. I was watching a video from 2018, I think, and the guy was not sure whether he wanted to take a stab at it because it was like $60 for a parcel of land when he figured in the ETH price. And then I was watching a video from last year where it was several $1,000s for a cheap parcel of land. And I thought that seems about right. And now, because we're in a down market, I'm sure you can get it for a reasonable price. But it would be cool to get into this game and be able to figure out some of this stuff.
Yeah, we cover so many projects. Of course, it's just a matter of figuring out where you want to spend your time and your investment. But you've got, you kind of saw the map. I just zoomed in. You have Origin City, which is the center, the spawning zone. If you spawn, now you can click on different areas here and it'll take you right into it. And with the 70,000 that will ever be, some of that or most of that is not created already. So you have this map that's basically less than 10,000 plots right now. they add plots each week through a Dutch auction. And through that Dutch auction, actually here, you know what? Oh, I closed it out. I got a short clip of it that I'll bring up here in a minute. But anyways, what I'm getting at here is Nolan stated there's going to be up to 70,000 plots. They add new plots every week. They do a Dutch auction every week that you can buy new plots of land, and then that's added to. You also have the secondary market on OpenSea that you can go on and buy. But here's this is the general map here. And so it's just kind of all over the place. But as you get into it, just like you were cruising around in there, that's where the beauty of it is. They also have one of these wiki sites set up where you can find stuff like how to build, what to look for,
nice.
What different things mean. Like, so again, you don't have to know how to code or do any of that stuff. You can just come right in here and either build on some of the land they have that's out there, or buy your own land and build on it there. Here's an explanation of, what is a parcel, how you can make an offer. Secondary market takes you to OpenSea. And like you said, not that long ago, like the cheapest parcel was around $4,000. You buy it in ETH, but it's, down in the hundreds now. And I even saw one piece of parcel that was in Origin City. So the very center of the map, probably most likely the best pieces of property of this project and most projects, and you could buy it for like right at 1 ETH. And so the parcels are also different size, which is very unique also. So long story short, there's some real opportunities, I think, with land here to purchase wise and build out. And you could put a shop, or you could entertain people, or throw concerts, or all sorts of really cool stuff like that. And here is Mr. Boobs again with a little bit of information on the land.
With the plots of land, are you still releasing new plots for the
Yeah, they're not selling at the moment. But at the moment, it's actually a really good price. There's heaps that are selling really, really low in the weekly Dutch auction. Look at all the metaverse activity. You just spent a half an hour or so on a sales call with Benji, who's the lead on Cryptovoxels. It's slowed way down. Looks like the entire NFT market's slowing down. So I suspect there's going to be some good buys in the coming months ahead. We still sell it. We're selling that smaller parcels, because our parcels are basically sold off volume. There's two things. The secondary market, more expensive parcels have amazing neighbors, because that's what you're buying in Cryptovoxels is your neighbors. Because if you've got cool neighbors, then you have more visitors, because people come to visit your neighbors. But if you buy new land, it's basically just priced purely on the volume. So we've been selling smaller parcels because they're more accessible to artists. Because, if you've been in crypto for a long time, you've probably got one or two ether to drop on a parcel. If you've only got cash and you want to go and buy a Cryptovoxels parcel now, they were selling $15,000 was the floor a while ago. And those parcels are probably still worth it now, because they're in a really developed part of the world and they're big parcels. But if you're going to buy a brand new parcel from us now over the coming months, you might be able to get something for $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, which is, I know that's hard for people that have, that only own Cryptovoxels as their only asset. I'm sorry, I really don't recommend that Cryptovoxels is your nest egg. Cryptovoxels is.
He gets into some really pretty good advice there, actually, but don't own Cryptovoxels as your nest egg. Maybe diversify a little bit there, but yeah. So, in summary, this is another one of those projects that I wasn't necessarily excited to do, but being a top project, you knew we had to actually look at it, and I kind of subconsciously delayed it. There's all these other projects that were coming out that I really wanted to look at, and kind of kept pushing this one back, and the name kept coming up because obviously it's a top project. But I now understand why it's a top project. It's very simple. What they're doing makes a lot of sense. The utility's there, and the creators and the people behind it are just extremely community driven. And so I think I see a lot of potential with this project.
Absolutely.
That is all I got. Unless you have something else, we're going to include some links, obviously, where you can find a lot of this information and go in there and explore. And like you've already said, one of the beauties about this is you You just click on the link and you're in there. You don't need to download anything special. You don't have to own an NFT or anything else. You can just go straight into it with a good browser.
Sure. And a lot of the stuff we were looking at was pretty basic, but check this little castle out in here that I found.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is in construction or what, but this looks like a blast. This looks like going in and building stuff with Legos.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. The simplicity of Legos, but you could spend hours and hours and hours building stuff with Legos, knock it down, start all over again. That's very much what it's like. A digital version of Legos.
I'm actually interested in seeing somebody's got all their NFTs up in here. It is. It's a whole art museum. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. I never knew there was so many artists in the world until I started playing around on Web3 projects.
That is exactly true. Is you just sort of think like, well, I know what art is. I know who, I get that. But then, you get on the NFT and everybody's got all sorts of, like their own style, their own taste, and there's so many of them that have full blown, that are ready to fill a gallery with digital art. And this is a great way to do it. I love that it's got the little map down here.
Yeah,
it shows you where you're at in the city, so you'll be able to find out, so you can start memorizing which neighborhoods you like to go in. I think it's a really cool project. The more I look at it, and I love that it's playable. I mean, this is one of the games that I feel like I'm going to waste a lot of time in here, just kind of wandering around. You can literally just jump in here, start exploring, and just walk through this, and it's a massive map.
Yeah, you could. There were so many good things. There was a clip that I didn't play, but also with that Ben Boobs interview where he talks about like you get lost in here and you're walking around and then all of a sudden music starts playing depending on what parcel you're next to, and then you get drug in there. As a matter of fact, I think he makes the comment that it is impossible to go from one end of the map to the other in a straight line. You are going to get so sidetracked in this Voxels because there's so much going on between audio and visual and stuff like that. And I thought that I was like, yep, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's like you're looking at a subdivision that's not finished yet. You know what I mean? Like, so you just know that,
work in progress.
This eventually one day is going to be filled with stuff. Look, there's somebody up here flying.
Yeah.
Oh, let me fly back up there with them.
How'd they get a pink person? Everyone else I've seen is white.
Well, I think that once you start saving your game and you can see he's got a name and everything. So Polly B have.
Look how shiny he is. This would be a great one for our copper score. Like that you're like, well, I'm not really interested. Then you get in here and you're like, man, it's got this. It just all makes sense. It's going to be fun when we have our scale created because you can plug it in and you're going to be like, oh, damn, this is a, whatever our scale ends up being. This is a 9 out of a 10 project. And I wasn't even going to look at it.
Right. Turns out it is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's all I got.
So man, that's all I've got.
We've lost Ben. He's gone forever. He's permanently part of Voxels now.
I'll be here next week when we do
box version.
Yeah, I'll be here next week when we start our Bitcoin episode. I'll be playing in Voxels.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna have to do our show from a world anyway. So,
oh man, wouldn't that be cool?
That's coming up. All right, good episode, Ben. Next week is Bitcoin, a deep, deep dive. Everything you need to know about Bitcoin.
All right, not financial advice.
See you, dude.
See ya.